Hello, hello. Great to see you back here again for day number 2. Alright, here we go. Match number 1, day number 2. What? You're gonna be brought to us. Why? Are we gonna see any hut drops? I mean, I feel like we saw hut drops yesterday, but we didn't really see any hut drops right off the beginning. And obviously we saw some teams lower in the leaderboard. They're gonna have a bounce back day. Really try and make something out of it. Teams up at the top, how are they going to be able to continue to hold their spot at the top? And what are all the teams in the middle going to do to shake things up? Right now, 3 members of Furia are chasing 1 member of No Way. I don't think that's going to last very long. The member from No Way clearly got to the vehicle first. DraftKings going to hop over with the AUG. Not able to connect with the shots. Kraken takes some of his own. The MK12. Unless they get a lucky headshot here. It looks like he is going to get away. So No Way. They were able to snag a couple of the vehicles that would be close to Furia. It's going to make their rotate a little bit more difficult. Take a little bit more time. How is everyone doing today? Nice little bunny pan. The snakeskin backpack right there. Got the all red on, even the red K9 to go along with it for Sir Latino. Vinny over here with the what, bunny ear helmet. A Birkin. I feel like the one that I was least impressed by on this team for No Way yesterday. Or not yesterday, it was Monday. Jeez, we skipped a day in between. So I'll be curious to see if he's gonna kind of turn it around. Play a little bit tougher, a little bit better than he did in day number 1. Like, I mean, who knows? Maybe he's a day 2 kind of player. And maybe we'll see him pop off and get some good kills, and No Way might be able to climb themselves up the leaderboard. 7 Tellas. A team that I'm just seeing for the first time this week. I don't remember them at all from last series or any of the series before this. So I'm curious to see what they can do. So far, sitting at 24 points just outside of relegation. They haven't looked awful. And I mean, if they can play some consistent PUBG and have 1 or 2 good games today, then I think they'll be able to stay right in Division 1. But it is curious because, I mean, I feel like most of the time when you see different names that you haven't seen before, sometimes they're the ones at the bottom. And the names that you normally see are up towards the top a lot of the time. Old players with Cirlo on the team. I feel like most of the other names I don't really recognize. I think it's just that I don't remember them as much, but I do remember Cirlo's name and seeing that around. But it looks like 55 definitely wants to chase down Cirlo. Gabaru just trying to take the tires out. Where is the rest of Cirlo's team? Is the question. Or did they already get... No, there's no way they're eliminated. So where are the rest of them? Are they further behind? Ooh, getting shot in the side now. Glock takes a couple of shots from Toyo. And one of the things that I think I'm going to be paying the most attention to, I with the new third person aspect, is how people peek. Because in first person, I feel like people have gotten really good with peeking over hills and stuff. I But in third person, I feel like I've seen them almost over peek a little bit more than I normally would out of them. And I don't know if it's because they see more in third person, so they're more confident, or what it may be. No way trying to pull up on this, and Tony goes down to DNL. Haven gets the trade onto Biel, so it's just going to be a 1v1 until the rest of the team does make it over here, getting shot on the side. DNL takes just a couple of shots. More in this side. Fauna does get the knock onto him, and the team to react faster was Mira. Away going to be the ones that have to return a Birkin. One of the players that's still up, and I really want to see something out of him today. That nade from Fauna. Oh, he hopped into the building before it happened, and Fauna takes him down. Zvinny going to be the last one up. 3v1 for him, but Mira have to try and take care of him quickly. Be able to get their other teammate back up on his feet before anyone else gets involved. Toyo was taking some long-range shots over here. It looks like Mira is going to get 3 kills, their player back up on its feet, and they will be good to go. Area, the only team still up towards the north, obviously having to rotate a little bit slower because all the vehicles around them got taken, so they had to go all the way up towards Oasis. Oh, Sun, you're going to be in a difficult spot right here. Isn't even able to lay down in time. Pana gets the knock, and now they're switching their attention straight over to Lincoln. First shot, headshot, is very beneficial. Sapalo going to be trying to get the res onto Sun. Probably, honestly, it might be easier to pick him up, put him in the vehicle, and drive out of there. Taran does end up getting the flush onto Sun. Steals it away from Rezav. And Rezav not going to be hugely disappointed about losing that point. They're already at 30 right now. 4 Monkey Men's, though, with 29 points, now going to be tied with Rezav at 30 because they stole it away. So if you're looking at the leaderboards and you're trying to figure out who you want to engage with and who you might want to steal kills away from, the team right above you is always a beneficial choice. So for Monkey Men's, a great idea to take the kill away from Rezav right there. Not today. They're trying to sneak away, but Seventel is shooting him in the back on a very slow-moving vehicle right now. Honestly, I was going to say, you want to throw down some smoke, and Pablo's going to get the flush onto Buririn very quickly. Yeah, looking at the leaderboard as well, Toyo Furia, really the top 2 teams, and unless Aura 55 or Mira even have some crazy games to start, it's going to be hard to catch up and match how Toyo and Furia have been playing. And it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to have a fight for first and second place, or if one of those 2 teams is going to pull away. The fight for third place is looking a lot closer between the teams right now. Aura down to Mira is just 12 points, and even if you stretch a little bit further down to Nevermind, with a couple of good games, if Aura doesn't get it going quick in this one, you could definitely see probably a relatively quick change in the pacing. They have an outside shot, and so doesn't a couple of the other teams with Rezav and for Monkey Men. but it's really all about how do these teams rotate after that hard shift over to the west. There's gonna be opening over there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Furia are some of the first ones to go a little bit farther over that way. They did rotate in the latest out of any of the teams only because of their lack of a vehicle. So now if they can take space over there, it wouldn't be a bad thing. They are staying a little bit further north. And that's fine. They're north of Chuma. They're still up on the hilltops. That way they can see plenty of people and shoot whoever they want. Meanwhile, you have Toyo, and they were down towards the apartment buildings. Oh, 1-0. It looks like they wanted to be hunted there. Emmy probably giving callouts to Toyo about that. Sold's all the way to Church. So Toyo right now with a 2-1-1 split. But, oh, headshot there onto Nadamal. Could have been dangerous. But if Toyo decides to try and regroup it all, oh, 55, it looks like they're crashing onto Church, so... Oh, okay, Toyo. They let one vehicle go through, and they were like, no, we are not letting a second one go through. Solds, yeah, he's gonna leave the Church. I was gonna say, if Solds isn't the one to leave, and it looks like even Emmy is coming down here as well. They're kind of giving up the high ground positioning for a late game option. Or, no, they're going to continue moving. I thought they were going to be happy with the apartments, maybe betting on it going down there. It's not a super uncommon zone to have, but it looks like they are going to try and rotate a little bit more, get even better of a position. They've already got a couple of kills in this game, and being that high on the leaderboard, every point's just going to help them feel more and more comfortable that first place is going to be theirs. They had 3 games yesterday where they had 10 kills or more. And now Aura, it looks like they're trying to nade over towards LFP1. The follow-up nade by Zello Margiela is able to take LFP1 down. And look at that. Free FAMAS out of it as well. That one's got to feel great for Aura, keeping the 5th place team in check. But in return, Haven gets a knock onto the player that just picked up the FAMAS. So the FAMAS could end up being absolutely nothing. Haven needs to try and lob one of those nades down there. He almost had the flush. Argiello just barely surviving off of that. That nade is going to be thrown down. I think blocked by the building, though. Yeah, he would have had to get it over the other building and through the window to be able to get anything off of it. I feel like after he got that knock and those shots, if he would have followed up with a nade almost immediately where he was before, it could have been a pretty easy flush. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and our zone centers up relatively nicely. We're going right towards Chuma as of right now. 3 different teams currently in there. And I say 3 teams, but No Way only has Vinny alive inside of Chuma. And 1-0 only has 2 players. So you have Rezev, you have Nevermind, and then you have 55 over towards the schoolyard. Just outside of Chuma. Brew getting shot at from the hillside. And then you have Furia up there towards the north, 4-0. They have to make a rotate. It looks like they may have been able to get a knock onto Seventellas, and Seventellas, they want to go for the res, and STX is more than happy to let them. He tries to throw a nade down, but there is no way, I was going to say, that it makes it that far down the hillside. They even try and throw another, but I still don't think it's going to make it that far. So Seventellas, they should be able to get the res up, but it looks like they're probably going to lose a vehicle off of it. Hopefully it wasn't 2 vehicles that they lost, with 2 of the members of 4-0 already pushed forward a little bit. They are going to be aware that 4 monkey men are behind them. They're going to be trying to find a little culvert where they might be able to dip their head down for a little bit, regroup as their other 2 teammates are starting to make their way. And in third-person mode, I feel like one of the things that you really have to take advantage of is the ability to scout for more information. Like, Terran here, in first-person, I don't know if he is in first-person mode. If he is, a little bit unfortunate for him, but if he was in third-person mode, I feel like he would have been able to easily spot out where this player of 4-0 is, and should be going down soon. Sweezy takes a lot of damage from the Scar. He tries to continue running forward, but eventually he does go down. Lapeaks almost goes down in return. You do have one of the members of 4-0 right here ready to fight, but Guckstarl takes down Cart. On the backside, old players are going to come in right behind 4 Monkeys men. When do they start shooting? They're getting shot in the back, though. From Toyo, the shot's starting to come out. Sun not able to hit the shots he needed. Moo takes him down. So even though old players were trying to come in here to help, they only ended up getting hurt. Double headshot from Lincoln right there onto Sold. Cirlo finds Lapeaks. So old players, they're starting to get a couple of kills here. Peaks does go down. Cirlo goes down to White's-in. So 4 Monkeys men, they kind of survived just by keeping their head down. All the other teams started shooting each other while they were just down in this dip. They did lose Lapeaks, but they should be able to hop into vehicles and move from here. Rockstar is just running forward. It almost looks like he's disconnected, if anything. Would be unfortunate as they have to continue to try and move in here. Kill feed exploding a little bit, aka they've made their way into Chuma. It looks like they had lost 1 player to Not Today. Now Not Today going to be fighting up against 7 Tellas, who are trying to make their way in. Soitera has 1 player run by him. He gets the second one. Quite a bit of confusion going there. And it's Burrin to go down next, and now it's all on to Spock. He's got to make his way in here, but he's getting shot from the side, and Dartek takes him down. 7 Tellas annihilate Not Today. Oh, White's-in makes his way over here. Infinite Void, he gets 3. Oh no, he got 2. Guckstarl jumped out before he made it over there. But oh my. For Infinite Void, he got 2 when he hit the headshots that he needed to. Tavon looks like trying to pop the tires long range there, make rotates more difficult for anyone he can. He's looking a little bit low on ammo though, swaps over to the AK to make sure he's going to make it to the end of this match. We are only in phase 4, there's plenty of time left. Plenty more people to shoot, and it looks like Glock has plenty of 7s. If he ends up needing any for the AK later on. I'm kind of noticing as we go through from player to player, a lot of the players that have 7th guns seems to have a lot more ammo left. Infinite Void finding the kill onto Solds. He is popping off right now in the match. Will he be able to continue to pop off? Or nothing get eliminated there. Looks like 7 Tellas. So 7 Tellas also having a phenomenal match right now. Toyo trying to make their way up towards the top part of Chuma, which is an interesting decision because the zone has popped and we are going further north. Rezav, they're taking on AKA right now, and AKA, they were down 1 player. Now they're just slowly losing more, so now they've lost their 2nd player. Looks like they had knocked Pana at one point, and Vinny giving a little bit of help to Rezav as Danshin was trying to find the angle to either get the flush or a knock onto a second player for Razav. Wait, Danshin. Trying to make his way forward. So, it almost seems like inner city fighting. I feel like I would get disoriented trying to fight through these, because I feel like it's almost more worth it to swap in between first person and third person, because yeah, you can look at a wall to see what you need to see, and he finds one, and he finds a second. Dwomson, now he's gonna start pushing forward with the Panzer. The smokes do go out. Dwomson closes the door, ready to find Nubsky. Had the Panzer to work with if he needed to. But it's really just Zvinny over here causing problems for AKA. Danshin, he stares at that, but Zvinny knows that he just doesn't have to peek right now. He's trying to get the flush onto one of the members of Toyo, steal that away. Oh, Seventella is going to be making their way down here, and Razav is just right there. Now the shots are going to go out from Pablo. He's trying to connect with him, doesn't find it, and it's Dwomson to get the knock onto him. He does get his flush as well, as Lucas is taken down by Glock. Danshin finds Dartek, and Seventella's dismantled one by one coming down the hillside. AKA, they're not going to have a ton more time to try and fight this. Dwomson, he has that shotgun in his back pocket. He can push forward if he wants to. Furia are over here taking down Aura. They've already killed two of the members, and they've had this northern part of the zone for quite a while now. Mira gonna be able to hold out Aura possibly on this next zone pop. We'll see in 5 seconds, and if that happens, they're gonna be able to get some revenge after losing their player earlier to the members of Aura. Looks like, depending on where Aura wants to go, that's indeed what can happen. Furia, I don't know if there's going to be enough room on those hillsides. A bit of a dip, maybe just to the south of Draft King, that him and Zakraken can play. The question is, Martin and Benyo, where can you go? What are the rest of the teams going to do? Maybe prevent that. But I feel like the teams with the most opportunity to make things happen right now is Furia. They have oversight on so much of the zone, have a 2-2 split going to help each other out, and Martin gets a long-range knock on to Biel. Emmy taken down by Tavon, and that's Toyo eliminated outside of the placements in 9th place. Now Furia has plenty of room to work with, and Draft King gets the kill onto Andrew, so in the end, Mira only gets 1 kill onto Aura after Aura took down one of their players, and that was a good shot from Tony onto Karak. Hopefully Karak has an extra helmet somewhere, because that is a bullet away from popping off. A lot of this zone is pretty empty. There's not a lot of places for people to play, so it's very congested, aka down to just one player. Zvinny, or No Way, is still over here. He's probably going to be watching over towards Dwomson over anything else. Getting a nade prep. Does he find anything onto Razav? Only a little bit of damage, not nearly enough. That second one goes out, finds a little bit of a spray, and that nade, surprisingly, doesn't get it. No, Dwomson, you want to go back out onto the balcony. They actually lobbed that perfectly into the window. But Dwomson eventually goes down to the blue zone. Razav actually be able to continue to stay alive as a 4-man. How many knocks has Razav taken so far in this one? It's absolutely crazy that this team is still up with 4 players. Because I'm pretty sure they've been knocked 9 or 10 times. Zvinny steps out. He does take down Pana. Gets the flush onto one. Gets a second before Nubsky is able to trade him out. Could have been crazy there from Zvinny if he was able to line him up and then flick back over and find the third. He would have only been down to a 1v1 him against Beleda. But Rezav gonna stay 3 strong. They finally lost a player after fighting team after team, and it looks like Furia has decided to just send it right up against the compound that Mira has, and with Zakraken holding down the shack, and Martin gets an opening knock onto Haven. This gives opportunity for 55 push into Mira if they wanted to, or are they gonna try and go a different way? Mira currently sitting on 3 kills. Even with 2 of them, needs to get rezzed. Door accidentally opened. That just happens when you're going for the res sometimes. It's a stubborn thing about PUBG. You can just be sitting there and then it really wants you to open a door when you're trying to res your teammate or pick something up. AK-47 gets the knock onto Glock for 1-0. They have 2 kills in this one. 1 from AK-47, 1 from Nadamal. They're going to be able to pick up their third here onto Glock. 1-0. They're in a really tough spot, because I wouldn't be surprised if Zakraken might actually have a view onto them at some point, too. Nadamal trying to make his way forward, but 55, they don't have to move till after 1-0. A little bit of a jammer pack going on for Nadamal right now, trying to outlive some of these other players. Benya takes down Nubsky, so it's another kill right now for Furia, and we see 3 different players go down to the blue zone. We're on to our top 3 teams, Mira, 55, and Furia. 3 of our top 5 teams. Rack repositioning the vehicle, trying to use it for whatever he can. Fauna hits the headshot onto Gabru. Vehicle should blow up there. 55 going to be down to a 2-man. I don't think there's going to be any way they can get Gabru back up on his feet. Any cross that they try and do will be spotted quickly, but Mira isn't in much better of a spot. If this doesn't hard shift over to the east, Mira's going to have a tough time with this one. Furia has so much control over this zone. 55 definitely going to be going out pretty soon here. Question is, when does Mira try and make a move? Is Furia going to be able to punish anything? A little bit of a headshot there from DraftKing, damaging whatever armor they do have. And honestly, Furia 8 kills so far. And I don't think I've really seen any of their armor having taken that much of a beating. But it does look like both Martin and Benya, they don't really have anything heal-wise for boosts as nades come out to the rooftop. It does make Tony jump down. Zakraken gets the knock onto Crack. Tavon is here without a helmet. Haven's able to steal the kill away onto Crack, though, so another point going the way of Mira. Every little bit counts. See, and this is what I worry about with third person is, you look completely safe behind here, but these players haven't gotten as used to TPP as FPP. So are they sure that they're actually like fully behind the hill? Like, how much time have these players already put in to third person to kind of get used to doing the same peaks that they were doing with first person? It looks like Tavon's just going to allow himself to go down to the blue zone. He knows that it's 50 Mira right next to him, so he doesn't want to give the point away to the team directly below them on the leaderboard. And Furia just going to be able to hold out here. Until Mira has to make a push. That's a good nade onto Martin, though. Unfortunately, it wasn't able to get the knock. But yeah, Benya, his helmet's almost gone. He only has a first aid kit left to work with. The peak around the edge almost takes down Fauna. That nade should be able to get the knock as Benya hits the headshot onto Haven to get a knock onto him. Zakraken using third person to his advantage. As more nades and stuns go out, he's just hopping behind that shack, able to call out anything that's happening. Getting so much information for his team. Should be able to spot one out. Martin goes down to Fauna, though, and Mira, they wanted that flush so badly. They're actually going to go for the res and try and turn this back into a 3v3. Enya and DraftKing, they can't leave this. Kraken still just trying to jump scout right there. Fauna still needs plenty. Shots onto Tony, and down he goes. DraftKing hitting the final bullet there. Haven trying to push with this FAMAS, but they're just not peeking right now. Now it's a Kraken from the side, finds one, and the other falls. Furia take match number 1, 11 kills, 1,800 damage, and 9 assists. Killer game there from Furia. Meanwhile, Toyo only had 5 kills. 7 Tellas, though. 11 kills. Mira second place and 6 kills. Some really good plays there from a bunch of different players. Infinite Void. Saw his name popping up in the kill feed. A decent chunk there. We're going to go to a quick break before we get ready for match number 2. This seems louder than usual. Maybe I'm going crazy. I probably am. Here we go. Match number 2. Our final Miramar of the week. Right. 55, they had a good game in the last one. Toyo, they got some kills, but they didn't get any placement. And now Furia with their win to start off the day. Second day in a row that they've won the first match. They are tied back up 101 points for both teams. Now old players, they are in a hot drop with the Mullahs inside of Los Leones, which is just crazy. Oh, Sonics. He found a nade. And Cirlo, with his 6th sense, was ready for that. Third person, it's over the right shoulder. I feel like if you lean left, though, doesn't it let you, like, look over your left shoulder? Mullahs, they did start this as a 3-man, so picking up an early kill is very, very big. Sir Latinho has a crossbow. Go back over to that man. I want to see the crossbow in use. If that man has a crossbow and he doesn't even use it to shoot anyone, do you know how highly disappointed I'm gonna be? Has a crossbow. All he's got to do now is try and shoot someone with it. As Sun picks up a knock onto Gringo, Sonic's gonna have to try and reevaluate where he wants to play this one from. Figure out where the shots came from, where other people might be. He knows Cirlo is around here. He got shot at. Now he's just trying to make it over. Ooh, bumps his head. Could have been dangerous. Sir Latinho, you have that crossbow. And if you get a kill with it, you will forever be my #1 player. I will root for you anywhere and everywhere you go. Right, it looks like Mullah's backed into a corner, and the old players want to get involved. They're only at 8 points right now, which surprises me, because I could have sworn in the last match they actually had a relatively... Oh no, that's right, they started getting shot at by a bunch of other teams. They started shooting 4 Monkeys men in the back, but it just ended up in a really unfortunate position, and that is a stun going straight out. And Sonics is very blind there for a second. Win, and who peeks out? Win. Sapalo gets a knock on to Gringo. Sonic still in this corner, goes for the shots, does take down one, goes for more, but Sun is able to trade him out. Now there's only 1 player left on Mullah's. Go for the style points, go for the crossbow kill. Looks like Toyo and Aura are having a scuffle in the kill feed as well. Paulo coming out. No, he's going back up. Thought he was going to come off the top there, but looks like just as quickly as he was walking away, he goes right back up. Right. It looks like Aura doesn't even want to back away from this fight either. That nade goes forward. Oh. If it was cooked just a little bit more before it got sent flying forward, I feel like it would have actually done more damage. And now Danny trying to reposition. He's getting shot at in the side right now. Oh, Emmy from the smoke is able to take him down. And Emmy's like, no, that's my kill. You don't even get to run him over. So now Aura has lost 2. Toyo has gotten away without any losses, and like they're ready to chase Aura down. Toyo, they're not going to chase that hard. They are going to back off again. Right now looking 40-point gap at the top of the leaderboard. That's looking crazy. Those two teams have been dominant so far. Toyo with 70 kills and a little bit less placement points than Furia currently. Then you drop down and it's, even after just one match, looking a lot more like a fight for third place between 55, Aura, and Mira. But you can never count out the middle of the pack. They could catch up. All it takes is one good game. Never mind Rezav, 7 Tellas, 4 Monkeys Men, even AKA Mullahs and 1-0. Possibly even 4-0. They have one 20-point game. And all of a sudden, they're right up in that conversation of being able to take that third place spot. At the bottom of the leaderboard, though, you got to be worried for Not Today and Old Players. They are just struggling so far in this lobby. No Way only have 19 points, so they're going to have to put together a couple of good games. And that last one, they got some placement points, but almost no kills, as most of their team went down early, and it was all onto Svinny to scrap for whatever he could afterwards. Looks like the fight finally done between Old Players and the Mullahs. Sun finding the final kill on Sir Latino. As we'll see. Most likely, Old Players are going to be back up to a 4-man. As that was a chip being exploded in a vehicle. So definitely one player completely dead now. Toyo. I feel like when we're swapping to some players' POV, they're in first-person mode. And as a spectator, I know you can swap between first-person and third-person mode. But yeah, you see how Emmy ran through the building right there, and he swapped from third-person into first-person? I almost feel like that's what you want to do, like, right when you're going through a doorway. Like, peek the doorway in third-person mode, and then as you go through it, swap to first-person mode, so it's like you're already more on target, I guess, in used to seeing what you're used to. AKA, they have a camp set up for 1-0 all the way up to the north. I don't think we're gonna see it right now. We're on Furia. They have a long rotate to make. They opted for another northeastern part of this zone, just like they did in the first one. And people like to say that we shouldn't end on Erangel because Erangel always has crappier circles. But I'd just like to point out that Miramar can also have some pretty crappy ones, as it's gonna get hectic, and it's gonna get hectic quick with that much water in the play zone down to the south. There's not gonna be a lot of space to play for, and Toyo is lucky they were so close to the edge of this one. Furia, not quite so lucky. They're gonna have to follow Mira in from behind. Never mind, already have Resort. Seven Tellas, they were ready if Toyo wanted to push over here. Biel comes a little bit closer. You can bet Pablo's gonna go for the shots, and there we go. He doesn't connect with a single one, though. But the way Toyo is playing, I don't think they'd shy away from a fight at all, though. They are ready to go. At 1-0, it looks like Leo did make it through the blockade that AKA had set up. Drops the gas can off at the glider, so that must mean they have a different player that normally does the flying. Looks like that might be LFP1. He's gonna grab the gas can, hop in the glider, and, well, hopefully not run straight into the telephone pole. You're gonna want to turn left here, LFP1. If you go to the right, you're gonna get sprayed down by Burrin. So you did make the smart choice here, going down the street. Up into the air he goes. Doesn't have a lot of height on him yet, but he'll definitely get up there. Looks like No Way gonna be taking a fight onto 4-0, and honestly, if No Way ends up getting a knock, oh, they don't. So he's backing off now as well. I was gonna say that might be something they want to commit to. Currently, though, I like No Way's spot. It's a really good compound, and if we go over to the east at all with this next zone, it's gonna be a pretty strong one. We still have a little bit of water left in this zone, so most likely we're gonna go north, and I'd say more often than not it goes to the northeast, the northwest rather than the northeast on this zone. So you're gonna have Rays Ave in a really good spot, 4-0. They have a 2-2 split across that road, and it's a good split. You just have to make sure you don't get punished for it. It's only phase 3. It's definitely still doable, but if a 4-man does anything to kind of push onto this, you either have to commit or back off very quickly, as Nevermind is fighting Furia. Furia already having lost one that also got flushed. Nevermind, they already picked up their teammate and are backing off. Benya trying to move forward to punish this. The rest of No Way ready to stop it. Kraken gets the knock onto Atulans as he just continued to try and rotate around. So that's going to be 2 down for Nevermind. And in a tough spot for the rest of the team to try and help out. Furia has to be careful of how much more they continue to go around, though, because Toyo will be ready to punish it. Avon gets a knock onto Guckstarl over here. But Guckstarl was actually the only one over here. Toyo are just laying shots into that glider. 5 kills for them. That's what they ended up going out with in the last match. This time they got him a little bit earlier. Oh, Leo, ready with the nade. I think that's going to go too far, though. Really find anything. So he throws it up and over, does some decent damage. Oh, but Moo takes him down, and 4-0, they get rid of the rat that was in the compound, and now they have a beachside property, all for their own. Right? And I think this is overall a much better split than trying to cross the bigger road that's inside that dip. And they should be able to just kind of go up and to the left. Is this me? I don't think so. I don't think I'm buffering. Okay. I'm gonna swap over to this one really quick. Not pause. Oh. Are we back? Fight between AKA and 1-0. Whiteson finds one. Danchin with the team nade onto Falcon. So now Whiteson have to do what he can to hold off members of AKA. The smoke goes down below. He's going to be trying to get the res after he reloads a shotgun. So not only does he have this double barrel, he also has a shorty. A little bit off on audio right now. I think we're mostly back. AKA, what are they going to do? They got backfilled by No Way. Aaron and Whiteson both there. Whiteson is able to flush out Danchin there, and DNL gets the knock onto Dwamson. So now Falcon just tries to go up, and Whiteson with the double barrel takes his head off. And 4 Monkeys men hold on, and now it's going to be No Way that's going to push them from behind. Is No Way going to be able to do anything that members of AKA weren't able to do? Whiteson's taken a lot of damage. Taran takes a headshot from Zvinny. I don't think they're even aware that some of the players are already in the building. Possibly even pushing up here in just a second. There we go. Taran goes down. Whiteson pushes forward. He takes one down with the double barrel before he goes down. No Way find a couple more kills. A spot at the very edge of the zone. Never mind, just sitting here waiting for Toyo to peek this. Craze, I feel like, trying to be a little bit more of the bait for Infinite Void right now. As 2 players are coming back for Nevermind, but Zakraken takes Skatastico out of the air. The other player taken down right as he lands. Emmy does get the flush onto Atulin, so Nevermind, they brought 2 players back just to give more points over to the top 2 teams. Easily enough, just 1 for each team as Biel finally steps out and gets the knock onto Craze, and now the nade's going to go out. That's going to be good onto Infinite Void. Doesn't actually find any damage. That's crazy. This second nade to follow it up. Still not finding anything. Where the heck did he go to be avoiding all this damage? And now they're going to get the flush, and Void is going to be moving around, finding a different spot. Amy is heard. The stun goes forward. Good dodge from Void there. He peeks it, but doesn't actually see anything. I feel like Void trying to play in a spot where he doesn't get spotted. I feel like BL could have seen him there from the balcony, though, depending on where he was looking. Because now they're going to get ready to push it all together. One goes down, and the trade is there. Easy mop up on the last player. 4, never mind. Toyo take them out. No way. 7 kills. And we were talking about one of the teams from the bottom of the leaderboard that could possibly try and make something happen. And right now, that's exactly what 4-0 is doing. Cart going to be the last one left right now. Wait, no, it's No Way that's just absolutely dominating. Somehow Cart doesn't do any damage right there. And there we go. Glock finally finds the nade onto Cart to take him down. 4-0, eliminated 9th place. No placement points for them. We're going to see Furia ready and waiting, but it's baited out on Martin. And Lucas takes him down. 7 Tellas. They lose 2 players to Kraken right afterwards. And Benya is over here to support. He pulls out the shorty, ready for when one of them peaks. And he goes around the side. He finds the knock onto Pablo. He's just got to continue forward. He has 2 knocks on the other side of this building. Picks up a nade from the down players. The Kraken gets a re-knock with the blue zone. 1 player left standing for 7 Tellas. He's further along on the other side of the smoke. He's prepping a nade of his own. What can he do up against the 2-man of Furia? Toyo making their way towards the backside. Kraken finds Volgo. And now Furia have to be ready for Toyo almost instantaneously. As Mira, No Way, and 55 are all over here. Aura just barely out in the blue zone. 1 player left standing in Excalibur. No Way, Tavon takes down a Birkin. It's all onto Zenny, goes for the shots, doesn't find the knock as Tavon finds a second. The nade from behind, Excalibur strikes true, and now the Molotov onto the tree. No, it got shot out of the air, but LFP1 from the back takes him down. Our top 5 teams scrapping it out in the top 5 right now. 55, the first one to go down. Mira, the only team left up as a 4-man. We have Excalibur over here that's going to be fighting with Mira, and then Toyo is going to be trying to find Kraken. Question is, where does Excalibur go? Does he go into Mira, or does he try and rotate around, falling in the arms of Toyo? LFP1 just trying to drum scout with the smoke. But you see how you can kind of just barely make LFP1 out from the top of the smoke in third person? If there's another player in there with him that's also standing, wouldn't they just be able to see each other and then try and, not first person spray, just like hipfire spray? That is 9 first aids for Excalibur, and you gotta use them, like, immediately. Phase 6 into Phase 7 is gonna hurt quite a bit. How long will he last? He doesn't want to give these points over to Mira. A team very aware where they are on the leaderboard. Now it's kind of quieted down. Phase 6 with 9 players. He's going to go a little bit slower. Kraken has had a masterful game so far. 4 kills, 5 kills overall for Furia. He only has 278 damage. So he has all those kills with barely any damage. Which means his teammate was Definitely helping him a little bit. But by no means does that mean he cannot get it done himself. Excalibur tries to take one Amira down, but he falls to the blue zone instead after his spray was not able to get the knock. Oh, Mira. They have such good zone positioning at this point, because zone decided to favor them just a little bit. I think they have a little bit more to work with. If they can get down into the dip as well to claim more of the center, I think they'll be really good, but the Kraken is like, nah, I'm gonna claim this. I'm gonna try and let you two fight while over-peaking towards me. And it's gonna be your own downfall. We see and hear all of the DMRs ringing out. Toyo versus Mira 4v3. He's a Kraken. A rat just in the middle. Whatever team does end up trying to move, gonna have to fight them. And I feel like Mira could have sent someone down there a little bit earlier to where the Kraken is. Toyo, 10 kills in this one. So they saw Furia and how they won last match and how they had a good chunk of kills. And Toyo just immediately comes back with, yeah, you want to have a good game? We'll have a better game right afterwards. What are you going to do about that? So it looks like today is just going to be a back and forth between Toyo and Furia, with our other top teams fighting it out for third place, because really we have seen most of our top 5 teams being the ones into the late game, staying alive, getting the kills, with 1 or 2 teams a surprise here or there. Tony almost gets sprayed down there by Caspitan. Luckily doesn't take too much damage to his skull. Keeping the helmet going is important, but Biel gets the opening knock onto this, and that turns it back into a 3v3. Kraken, how much time is he going to be able to bide? Oh, the shot's going out towards Caspitan, but they're just not connecting, and that's a headshot from Solds to do some good damage. Mira. It's rough with Caspitan going down to the left on them towards Ana, who's trying to get that anchor position to do as much damage as quickly as possible to Toyo. Gets punished for it and puts Mira now in a more difficult spot. There we go. Headshot does get traded, but LFP1 missing a helmet now. So Kraken gets the kill onto Fauna, steals it away. That's 5 kills now. Yeah, there we go. Hits. Shot taken by BL. They're just ready for him to peek any one of those spots. Ready and waiting, and LFP1 finally hits the double headshot onto BL. And I think he's just outside of this blue zone. That's a really difficult spot for Toyo to be in. Now it's going to be onto Caspitan. Can Caspitan find the kill onto Kraken? Going to be 3 players up for Mira. Who goes down first, Toyo or Furia? Who is going to get the extra placement points? Mira is starting to claw their way further up in the 3rd place spot. spray goes out. A lot of damage on Caspitan. Kraken getting ready to move forward as well. I feel like Mira a lot more focused on Caspitan right now compared to the Kraken. 4x spray from Caspitan. He's got 2 clips to work with. Then the mini, but Haven hits the headshot. Down he goes. The Kraken gets sprayed through the smoke, and see, that's a rough one. Did they just spray through the smoke there, or because of third person, could they see down into it? That's what I'm curious about right there. Mira win it with 8 kills. Phenomenal from them. Toyo had 10. 55 had 9. How did that final kill come about? Was it because he was in smoke and it was third person and they could see down from above into the smoke? So they could see him through the top. That's what I'm curious about. But we're going to take a quick break as we get ready for match number 3. No way is match number 3. And besides the fact that we somehow ended up with a Los Leones hot drop, we do not have that going on in this one. Hopefully. I don't know how do you even end up with a Los Leones hot drop? Like, it's big enough for 2 teams, but I don't know. Do we have 2 teams going to Hungshan right now? 4 monkeys, men, and 7 tellas do so appear to be going towards Hungshan. Looks like a potential hut drop there. Everyone else seems to be spaced out enough. How's this hut drop gonna go? It looks like a lot of the players are all landing in the same spot. You have 1 player from each team up over to the north. 1 player landing late. Pablo gets the opening knock onto Guckstarl. And it looks like you're probably gonna have the second player knocked pretty quick here in a second as Dartek runs through. There we go. Yep, Dartek gets the second one. And 4 monkeys, men. Like they might be falling apart pretty quick, and what I'm seeing so far today from 7 tellas, very impressive turnaround from yesterday. I don't know if they looked back, figured out what was and wasn't working, and decided to change it around, but I think it's very impressive, the first couple of games they've put together, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do for the rest of today. Meanwhile, not today. I saw a couple of them go down in the kill feed already, and we're at 5 points in just 9 matches, and not really what I was expecting out of this team. It's a team that I've watched before, that it doesn't necessarily get kills, especially in this level of a lobby. But they're a team that always consistently made sure to get placement points. In the fact that we're not even seeing them get placement points, and they actually have more of their points from kills, I feel like is a little bit of a shift for that team. And they're either going to have to get away from that, or maybe they will end up spending some time down in Division 2, maybe even Division 3, trying to figure out what play style they really want to be, and then we'll see them back here a couple of series from now. Now we've slowed down a little bit. It's, wow, no skin on the Dacia there, Void? He's a player that's played decent so far today, but I don't think it's anything absolutely outstanding. He's definitely kind of stood out a little bit to me, and Nadamal down there in that EMP zone, all the way in the bottom corner of the map, is going to want to try and get out of there pretty early. Furia, they're at 113 points now. Toyo is at 116. It's a small difference, but it is a difference. And I'm losing frames. My internet's definitely real fucked up now. I gotta fix my internet. Okay. There we go, it's even back out. So annoying that my internet's all fucked up like that. I don't know why it's so fucky-wucky lately. Not fun. We have a Jiao Tin zone, though. At least we didn't get a text track zone. With it being over towards Jiao Tin, we'll see a little bit different strategies, maybe. Again, the spot I want to see the most besides Jin City is a little bit to the south of Zhaotin. There's the two lakes with the res station area. I want to see an ending right around there. I think it'd be a lot of fun. I will try and manifest it as much as I can. I just zoned out hard right there for a second. Oh, let's see. Wow, our relegation zone, it's starting to look a little bit more compact. We're on match number 9. So if we're looking at the leaderboard, our top 5 are safe. I don't think anyone else is safe right now. I think Nevermind is on the cusp. They just need to do a little bit more, and they'll be good to go. Seven Tellas, if they just continue playing the way they're playing, they'll be fine. 4 Monkeys Men, however, losing 2 early in this match could make it difficult going into the next one if they don't pick up any points here. Then you have Rezav at 36 points. And those, so your 6th through 9th place teams are the ones that it's like, all right, if you play consistent for the rest of the day, I think you'll be fine. Oh, Andrew, you had to hit that shot right there. Benya took down Excalibur. Your sword's been taken away from you. So what are the two of you going to be able to do? You have 55 and Toyo on both sides of you, along with Furia that was over here taking shots, and now they're going to back off now that Toyo has arrived. Aura just seemed to be struggling a little bit today. Maybe showing that they're not quite up to par to be that 5th or 3rd place team right now, but definitely a day 1 possibly team. And it'll be curious to see how the differences are this week going into next week. One of the big things with Toyo is consistency. They're at 116 points. They're obviously going to do fantastic this week, but then we go to next week and maybe we don't see the same results out of them, and I feel like it's something that's pretty normal when we look at Toyo. And now Danny did get a knock onto one of the players from Toyo. Just going to try and get the flush with that nade. He does confirm it. Util has been thrown out from Toyo. Oh, I saw BL jumping through the smoke here. He's going to prep the nade. I think he's actually, like, aware that they may just be going, yeah, for the chip. And Danny, look, see how he was looking down into the smoke there? Oh, Glock from the side. 55 got involved, and down goes Aura. And that's a really good play from 55. If they... I mean, they were definitely watching the kill feed. They were right next to these teams fighting. They knew exactly what was going on. And they saw an opportunity to finish off Aura. And it's going to solidify pretty much them against Mira for 3rd place. Unless Aura can turn it around in the last 3 matches, going out in 16th place is going to make it really, really tough. We have so many teams out in the blue zone still. You have Nevermind. You have 4-0. You have 4 Monkeys Men. You have 1-0. You have Not Today. And then Mira all the way up to the north. All still in the blue zone. I feel like people are still playing this like a test track server. You have enough teams over there, you might be able to play a second zone at this point. We are going to see Razev taking a couple of shots at various teams as they're driving by. 35 seconds until the zone even starts to move here in phase 2. What I haven't seen at all, though, really through a lot of these matches so far, is any BRDMs, as we see kills going both way. Upside down is correct. He gets back up, but he almost gets taken down immediately. Now he goes for the return spray onto Pablo. The drive-by, not able to connect from Tavon. And now the Panzer goes out, and down they go. Crack with the Panzer to take down 7 Tellas. And honestly, if the Panzer wasn't used there, I feel like 7 Tellas are playing good enough that they might have actually been able to stave that off and take down 55, potentially even. They were playing that well. They do fall a little bit early here, but they didn't go out without any points. And I feel like that's an important thing. They made sure to get at least a few points. Because if they had gotten, like, no points, then that's a completely different story. A Birkin. Getting a kill onto Fields there, and it's a good thing. Player that I definitely wanted to see a little bit more out of for No Way if they want to stay out of the relegation zone. I don't think had a great performance in day 1, but he comes back here in day 2. And he's still maybe not living up to how he wants to play. But he's definitely done a little bit better so far, I'd say, today than he did in day number 1. So many teddy bears on people's backs. Or I'm going crazy and I just, like, keep on seeing the same one and it just sticks out to me. So then I just have to, like, point it out. I don't know. Either way, I think I'm crazy. Hey, would you believe it that LFP1's back up in a glider, though? Hopefully he has a repair kit for that, because it seems like he is getting shot at a lot. Not a ton of bullets are connecting with him, though. So, a lot of players just wasting ammo almost on it. Let me tell you, you hit a crazy shot on it, could be clip-worthy. Could definitely be clip-worthy. 55, they're going to pick up a 4th vehicle before pulling into the gas station. Gas station's always an interesting spot to play. Just because so many things can explode. Cabru, why are you... Oh no, don't get the vehicle stuck. I'd honestly put 2 vehicles in the car wash, if anything. Or nothing. Up on the hillside. Oh, it's gonna be difficult to look at the map there, huh? Oh, helps. Oh, helps. That's not good for you. Spock is trying to make his way over here, though. He survived. I don't know how he did, but he actually survived that. Never mind getting shot at by Furia with Toolins has been taken down. The flush gonna come out pretty quick from Zakraken. Benya with all 3 kills so far for Furia in this match, and Toyo haven't found anything, but they're up against Mira now. They find one shot. LFP1 from the glider takes one down. Caspitan takes down Fauna. And surely LFP1 is going to be trying to go for more here. Throws the nade down onto the ground. Doesn't connect with anything, though. Haven Trying to cause some problem. LFP1 wanting to take care of this, but Solds takes him down as soon as he lands, and Haven going to be surviving right now as a solo for Mira after Toyo is able to take down the rest of the team. Not today. Not a lot going for him right now, and DraftKings finds CNNR, the only surviving player it had looked like, and now so much pandemonium going over here. Furia, no way going up against each other. The Kraken has been taken down. The heavy hitter so far for Furia. Had 25 kills going into this match. We're gonna see Vinny try and spray through the smoke. Not today, get eliminated 14th. Monday wasn't their day, and it doesn't look like it is today either. Nade goes out, doesn't roll down the hillside now. Doesn't hit the hillside at all. That's a good nade over towards DraftKings, and it does find the knock onto him. DNL picking up that. Benya did get a knock, and Martin just gonna steal the kill away onto Zvinny. He's got to reload right here. But he's gonna back off, try and go for the res onto DraftKings. There's no way, he just continues to get shot in the back by Rezav. And, wow, good nade there by Pana. It's the finish onto No Way. Now Rezav just gonna try and make it back to their compound. They are getting shot from the hillside by 4-0. They have to return some fire here in just a second. Cheetah tries to hit that bolty shot. Oh, 1-0, Nadamal. You are in trouble right here. Toyo on one side of you. You have old players on the other side. You get knocked and flushed easily, and now Toyo's going to try and continue forward. They get some shots onto Lincoln through the smoke, but aren't able to find anything else. The nades are going to quickly follow as Lincoln decides to just back off of that position. Very smart from him. Cirlo trying to give some return fire. Toyo going to be in on the very edge of this, but AKA pulling up on the backside. Old player's going to be aware of it, but they are already pinched. Danchin going to be able to try and backfill them, but no, Sun able to hit the shots and take him out of the vehicle before they can complete the takeover. They're going to have to try and deal with these players very quickly. Pirlo tries to get the flush, but it's Furia shooting AKA in the back now. So it's one team after another. Caspitan does get a knock onto Lincoln. Kill stolen away by DraftKings. Toyo ready to move forward on this, but they got to be careful they don't expose themselves to Furia, and that's exactly what they do, but the Kraken is only able to hit a couple of shots. There we go, Martin hits the headshot to take down Emmy. And old players, they just kind of backed off. They let these other teams fight for right now. There's a Kraken, he's out in the blue zone. It's going to be a difficult spot for him to move out of. He should have plenty of covering fire. DraftKings just trying to move up. He's got to be careful, though. Pretty soon, he might be able to get shot in the back. As it looks like Mullahs have only one player left, and he's just sitting on top of the mountain. Caspitan does get a couple of shots over towards DraftKings, and it's from the side, actually, that Caspitan starts getting shot. Probably surprised that he got shot from that angle. The Kraken stepping out into the blue zone a little bit, even in Phase 5. If it's for a kill, the Kraken is ready to go for it. So DraftKings going to back off of this hill because they no longer find it safe, especially with that off-angle player. He's going to go down to the rock, try and bait Caspitan out a little bit. Almost gets sprayed. He goes around his vehicle to be right up against the rock. White's in. Trying to take down this last player of 1-0. Not able to. They're both in vehicles now. White's in. is just barging into the zone and the BRDM. But I was gonna say a little while earlier, we haven't really seen any BRDMs. Like, that is one thing that I feel like we just haven't seen a ton of. Whiteson stops for just a second, and immediately the BRDM starts getting shot at. It was only getting shot at by, like, one person, though. I feel like he could have just left it there. It probably would have been fine. Now he's kind of putting himself in a spot where there's plenty more people around. I don't even know if Gringo has a gun. I think he's just naked up here. Yeah. He is just surviving for placement points right now. As Cirlo got chased down by Toyo, Sapalo goes down to Draft King. And old players just falling one by one. Martin trying to get the shots over towards Rezav. Misses the shot that would get a knock, and I feel like Furia is actually going to be in a really difficult position right here. Toyo may possibly be able to just not allow them into this area. Draft King pulling forward. Pops out. He does have a Groza. Rezav gonna have a scary angle onto him, but it's also gonna prevent Toyo from being able to kind of like push up onto them at all. Moo hopping up onto the rock face. Trying to get up there safely. 5 kills for Solds in this one. He continues to be the MVP of both days right now. So much damage, so many kills yesterday as Gabru just runs over Zakraken. Solds is spotted out. The shots are just whiffing from Tavon. It's a good thing Glock is by his side. 55 up to 10 kills. The nade goes out. That should be enough to take care of Emmy. Boom! There he goes. Glock is up to 5 kills. Toyo gets eliminated by 55. It looks like Furia is also out of this one. So this, I mean, besides 55 still being in this, is the tale of the underdogs. 4-0 still alive. Rezav still alive. Mullahs are still hanging in there. Wheezy getting a knock onto Pana. Headshot in return, and it looks like Fachita gonna throw that smoke instantly. Getting up here, gonna try and go for the res. Gringo's still alive as well. I think that's the best part of this. He got brought back to life, and he was like, I'm not even gonna try and fight these people. I'm gonna go sit on top of this hill with nothing and just farm placement points. Sweezy gets some good shots over onto Beleda, but he gets out of there pretty quickly. The nade isn't able to find anything, and Beleda's not in the zone right now, so he's going to have to move his way into it. In the process of that, he might expose himself to 55. Glock is keeping an eye out all along this ridge line. So as he gets farther forward, he may get spotted here in a second by Glock. And there we go. Glock does spot him out. Not connecting with the shots just yet, but now he's going for some good peeks. He does get the knock onto Beleda. Should be able to get the flush as well, and that's 15 kills for 55 PD. Oh, 55. Can almost just walk this one home. Every single player that's left is going to have to come towards them. The only slightly difficult part is there is still a BRDM that Whiteson is just sitting in. So they're gonna have to try and blow that up at some point. Gringo is no longer in the zone, but I feel like the longer he can wait, the better off he is. I think the fight between 4-0 and Razav is gonna happen pretty soon. Oh, Whiteson tries go for the shots onto cart. Whiteson almost trying to bait out 4-0 a little bit. But 4-0 dove to the opposite side of the zone. Still aren't even in. And now Tavon is just tap firing away with a 3x AUG to try and take care of Moo and Sweezy. The spray is just not connecting. He's done a little bit of damage here and there, but he's just not finding what he needs to. So much ammo on him as well. Maybe gotta remember that there is a BRDM here that could still be in play. Gringo. Oh, he doesn't have a gun. Tries to go for the Superman punch, but Nubsky just shoots him real quick, takes him down. But 4-0, even after their move, aren't even in zone yet. Like, it's still all been for naught currently. The third person, like, messes with my head trying to, like, watch what's happening. Nubsky gets the knock onto cart. One player down. 2 down for Razav. Still 2 up, 4-0. Driving on the very edge of the zone. Avon continuing to spray towards it. BRDM, aw, Tavon. He has the BRDM. Killer. He shoots the Panzer off. He only gets 1, though. The BRDM is going to blow up here in just a second, and Moo kills himself to falling. So Razav are going to secure second place, but 55 going to get the final kill. And it's 55 with 19 kills. And the chicken dinner, and I mean, that's 29 points. I know there was quite a gap between first, second place, and then third place, but 55, if they can have a couple more games like that, they have to have a couple more games like that in order to catch up. Are they going to be able to do it? We will see as we go to a quick break, getting ready for match number 4. Match number 4 is underway. Where are they going to take us? Are we going to see more hut drops? Are we going to see people pull off of hut drops? I feel like a lot of the times, even when we've had two teams land, they've been able to leave relatively unscathed, or at least with a couple of players to play out the rest of the match. Usually not really leading to a ton, but they have been able to do it. All right. I say that, and we have a hut drop between 7 Tellas and 4-0, so we'll see what comes out of it. 7 Tellas, a team that I think has done phenomenal in the first 3 matches of today. They kind of got shut down a little bit by the winners of the last match in 55. So, I mean, I guess if you're going to end up dying to any team, it's better to die to the team that wins the match rather than anyone else. Now they have to go up against 4-0, a team that made it all the way to the top 4 in the last match. Team that is threatening just below them on the leaderboard. Speaking of the leaderboard, Team Rezav up to 51 points. I think at this point we can say they are safe. And then 3 teams that are right on the cusp right now is going to be 4 Monkeys Men, Nevermind, and 7 Tellas. This is a huge game, because they're a huge hut drop. If 7 Tellas survive this hut drop, then they are going to be in a spot where they can pretty much clinch their way through with a few placement points and a couple more kills in this match. And they can play a little bit more comfortably and maybe play a little bit more the way they want. But if they go down in this hut drop, all of a sudden 4-0 is right on their back, could jump them, and they're right back at risk. Oh, LFP1 gonna be going up against 55 all by his lonesome. This is gonna be a 1v2 situation right now. Tavon and Karak against LFP1. When does the rest of Mira get over here? It looks like pretty much with the same timing as 55. Jump shots going out from LFP1. He does get a little bit. No, Gabru ends up running over Tavon as soon as they make it over here. And that's a couple of kills for Mira. Gabru gets 1, tries to go for the spray onto the second, isn't able to get it. Karak is slowly making his way forward with the Panzer. Something that can very much change how this goes, but you're not allowed to jump with it anymore. So he uses it to good effect, gets the knock onto Haven. It's going to bring it back down into a 2v2 as soon as that happens, though. Haven with the nade. Karak going to have to throw out that stun, but Tony finds the head. And honestly, I don't know if it's because he threw it or because of the third person that he thought he was safe, but he really wasn't. Again, I don't know how much that affects it. I feel like we haven't really been able to, like, really see the effect of how the third person is. Because we saw him even leaning to the right and stuff. Did that give him a sense of security that he thought the other player wasn't going to be able to see him at all? And if he was in first person, would he have maybe laid down instead in that situation? We hop right back over to 4-0, and 7 Tellas in cart gets the opening knock onto Lucas. How much of this does 4-0 want to stick around for? Or are they going to want to back off? Very common peak that I think is how you have to play a TPP, where you're leaning down to the right. Oh, and as soon as Cart starts to make his way around, Pablo was ready and waiting. And that right there is a definite part of TPP. He knew that the player was on that rooftop. He just kept his head down till he exposed himself in the open and was able to punish him for moving. It wasn't a punishment for a bad play or anything. It was simply punishing him for moving. And now he's laid back down. He could be still on that rooftop, or he might not be. STX has no idea at this point. And I think this is what I'm afraid is gonna happen during city fights and stuff when we get to the bigger tournaments and stuff. It's just gonna be a whole crap ton of sitting and staring and waiting. Like, players are gonna want to make something happen, but realistically, they're gonna get punished anytime they do if someone is already set up. Now, if they can make something happen on teams that are already set up, that's where we're going to see some crazy stuff happening, and it looks like Furia trying to take care of LFP1. He was a little bit separated from the rest of the team. LFP1 prepping the nade, throws it out, but he gets taken down by Benya immediately. Everyone else dodges the nade. Haven going to be the last one left, and Mira going to be down to a single player. And I feel like a lot of the game is going to come to util usage. I feel like util usage is going to be very, very important. Aura taking some shots at Mullahs as they drive in between their web. But it is not able to catch anything at this point. Over on the leaderboard, though. 55 with that last game, 101 points now. If they have one more of those games, all of a sudden it's a real close contest going into the final 2 for today. Meanwhile, Mira has dropped back just a little bit on 78 points. Aura on 64. Both of those teams, if they have a match that like 55 just had, again, could be right in contention for that third place spot. But it is going to require some good games from Mira and Aura. And with Mira only down to one player in this one, it's looking rough for them to be able to claw their way back into it. On the bottom half, you have No Way that's gotten themselves a good little chunk of points. They're up to 30. 1-0 is at 31. And then you just go up by 1 there, all the way up to 4-0 in 10th place. Seven Tellas only have 41 points with Nevermind and 4 Monkeys Men at 43 apiece. So those teams, if they drop early and then the other ones surge up with a good 10-point game, all of a sudden it swaps the positions of who's in relegation and who isn't. There's still plenty to play for a lot of these teams. But not today. Unless they have a 20-kill win, I'd have to say that they are going to be in relegation at this point. Same with old players. And Rezav, it would take something absolutely insane for them to get up towards the top of the leaderboard. Now, I don't see them dropping all the way back down to the bottom. So they're kind of in a no man's land, and they're alone in that no man's land, where every other team, I still think, really has stuff to fight for to some capacity. 4-0 and 7 Tellas are still just sitting in the blue zone. We did see Dartek get a kill right there. We go back down to the south. Not today, not going to be happy with that one. They were on the edge of the zone up towards the northeast, and they did not, or northwest, but they did not get what they wanted. Not in the slightest. Team Razav could crash onto AKA right here. Nubsky already taken down. He gets flushed out, AKA their second kill of the match. One for Danshin. Oh, Danshin just got the flush. Never mind. One for Dwamsen. One for Falcon. Oh, and Dartek just got STX as well. So 4-0 down to just a single player. And I don't think I've seen any of the Seven Tellas players go down. And Pablo finds Moo. 4-0 get eliminated. And now it looks like Lincoln is trying to go for the fight here. He's just in first-person mode, though. And that gives him way less information, I feel like. And Vegeta, taking advantage, just eliminates him. I feel like Lincoln was just in first-person mode that entire time. And I think he got punished for it, unfortunately. Third person is just so much better for getting information and finding peaks. Honestly, I think once we get to, like, crazy high levels of it, a lot of people will get, like, accusations just because of how many crazy shots that I think we'll see at some of the really high-level tournaments. Now we sit and wait. We already have 3 teams in Hosan. It's almost like a lot of the players are expecting it to go further up north on this one. Or maybe players just don't want to play in the south. I don't really know which one it is, but I am interested to see how it ends up playing out. Kraken taken down the legendary sword immediately for Aura. They've shown really good stuff in day number 1, but since day number 2 has started, they had an okay day number 1, but just slowly losing more and more. And they're just not finding the fights that they want to find. I feel like a lot of the times when we see them, they're up against Mira, they're up against 55 or Furia, even Toyo, all the teams that are right at the top of the leaderboard. And they're not really running into any of the teams lower in the leaderboard, whether their rotations changed from yesterday to today or everyone else's did, and they stuck the same. I'm not really sure what's been happening, but I do expect to see them, hopefully on Erangel, start to turn it around. And they still have 3 players up. There's no reason why they can't start hitting some shots and really bring it back in this one as well. 7 Tellas. Just so you know, I don't think that's where you want to be landing right now. Right in the middle of Furia, Draft King takes down Pablo early on. And they may not have wanted to land here, because Furia is here. But they already have 4 kills from taking down 4-0. They had all 4 players alive, and they only lost 1 on the drop. So it's not nearly as bad as it could have been. Oh, what a nade from Zakraken onto Lucas, though. Hey, Dartek, that's a crossbow right there. Go for the content. For the content. Dartek sees him through the window. He doesn't have any offensive util, and you can't shoot through that window easily. I think you pick up the crossbow and you go for a jumping crossbow headshot. Oh, Zakrak, no, he was out in the open, but Dartek doesn't end up getting the kill. Zakrak gonna immediately prep a nade, and it's right onto the feet of Dartek. And Maya, the only one left for 7 Tellas. Aura immediately pushing over here. Even trying to go for the res right now. That nade does a good chunk of damage, and it's Benya's with the follow-up that end up getting the kill. I think that was a little gutsy from Aura to try and go for that. I don't think there's any real scenario in which that works out well. Maya is sitting in first-person mode. Fury is already going to have the info on this, and Zakraken hits the shots. Down goes 7 Tellas, but winning that hut drop and getting themselves 4 more points is going to put them in a relatively comfortable spot going into the next few matches. Just 1 or 2 matches left, and if they get 5 points in even one of them, I think they'll be doing pretty good. The Kraken spotted out, taken down by Danny. Andrew on the backside. Struggling. Oh, Benya was spotted out. And I don't think there's a really safe spot for him to go. Danny is actually making his way over here. And, yeah. This corner is going to be really, really big. Oh, that nade, it misses. I think you just got to go and confirm your kill right here. Oh, Benya was spotted out by Zella Margiela. Ooh. Headshot in return. Furia, you're really not going to be wanting to fight this for too much longer. Danny gets picked up in the vehicle. Is he going to get this first aid off in time? No. Down to the blue zone. Andrew's going to have to pop his and drive as quickly as he can. I think Andrew's going to be the only surviving member. And Benya is going to try and make his way over here as quick as possible to try and punish that vehicle. Well, it's leaving. The spray goes out. Just needs 1 or 2 bullets. And he doesn't connect with any. Andrew's going to make it into that next zone. No promise that he won't run straight into another team, as DraftKings picking up a Lynx and some 3 gear. And everyone is distracted up on this hillside. Sir Latino tries to go for the shots, but it's Vinny from the other side to take the member down on 1-0. Sonics, he goes down to blue zone here. Yeah. Sir Latino gonna get the flush onto Leo. DraftKings confirms the kill with the Lynx onto Sonics. So that's 7 for Furia so far in this match. The nade goes out right onto AK-47. Down he goes. Wonderful there for Sir Latino. Picks up another point for Mulaz. And it's on to 1-0. The team that would put them into relegation if they caught up a Birkin. He has a kill in this match already. He's trying to look towards Martin. Try not to take too much blue zone damage here, though. Going up against this team. Martin does go down to Zvinny. Now you have DraftKings and Benya to work with. M24 in hand for BDBL. It's DraftKings. It's slowly lurking closer. That I think is going to be able to punish the members of No Way. But Vinny, he's able to prone before he gets taken down. No Way have 3 kills so far, and they definitely do not want to be relegated. They are playing with a fire under their feet. They are ready to fight for this one. Oh, Link shot over towards Danchin. Might wanna not peek over towards that way. As it looks like Nanu gets a knock onto Panna, but Nana goes down to Benya with a long-range MK shot. Smoke does go out, and Danshin continuing to try and peek towards DraftKing, who's ready to punish No Way if they come even the slightest bit too far down the hillside. Guess what? Sir Latino is also creeping up behind No Way. Oh, Latino is spotted out. He goes for the shots, only finds one bullet. The nade coming out, he goes for even more. And that nade bounces off his shoulder, takes him down. Third Latino tried to do what he could to get Mulaz even more points. Schwams in for AKA. Gets the knock and flush onto Fachita. As 4 Monkeys men are eliminated by Toyo. Oh, blue zone onto Beleda. Oh, double blue zone. He's gonna go down here in just a second. There goes Razav. 7th place. They still get a placement point. It's not like it was for nothing. Watulin's watching as Caspitan drives forward, tries to get a few shots over towards him. Isn't able to connect with anything though. That Lynx now firing off from Craze. Where is Toyo gonna go? They have 5 kills currently. Stolds did get the knock onto DNL. The rest of No Way is up on the hillside. Furia is just kind of packed into a tiny little dip on the very edge of zone. No Way, don't commit to that. Stay up on top of the hill. You didn't need to come down here. You could have had the high ground. They're playing the rocks down below instead. This could be what they feel comfortable with, but they could have had the high ground. And at this point, if we look back towards Furia's position, if they don't get spotted by the members of Nevermind, they can just slowly rotate up on the hill back behind No Way. Oh, you have AKA as well. It's going to be difficult for Furia to do that, but like No Way just gave up the hillside, and it's still definitely playable. So now a different team can just go up there and shoot them in the back. And No Way kind of put themselves in this position. I think it's a little bit of a misplay, but they have 4 kills. They have the placement points from being in the top 5. They've had a decent game. And I think they'll be able to catch up to Mulaz with this. The problem is the other team that's right there is AKA... and they're still alive, and they have some kills as well. Never mind, another team that needs some more points. They have a few through placement, and it'd be nice if they could get 3 or 4 kills here before the end. And if they can do that, then I think going into the next couple of matches, they're also going to be in a spot where they're looking really, really good. Oh, Craze, the headshot onto Benya. That's a rough one for Furia. They were already only a 2-man, and AKA are going to take that opportunity to actually go over there and possibly even finish off Furia. And DraftKing now going down to Nano, but he did find a knock onto Falcon. And through the top of the smoke, he tries to go for it, but Danshin is the one to find it, so Danshin picks up 2, and down goes Furia. 4 teams left, AKA Nevermind, Toyo, and No Way. Solds gets the knock and the flush onto Watulin. Still 3 members up for Nevermind. Skatastico so much farther back. He's gonna go down to Emmy. The other two members just barely over here. Emmy surviving on a sliver on that one. Now the nade's gonna go out. Biel hits the first one. Caspitan the other, and down goes Nevermind after some great util usage by Toyo. Toyo gonna be back up to a 4-man AKA. No way. Vinny has gone back up the hillside a little bit, and I think that's good. You gotta make sure that AKA can't wrap behind you. But they are gonna have to try and go somewhere, and I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to go that way anyways. Just because there's almost nothing else for them to do, and that vehicle is gonna be toast. I don't know why you stop it there. I feel like you gotta try and send it somewhere while you're in that vehicle. You're not in the zone yet, and it's just gonna be difficult for you. But they do get a knock onto Biel. So Falcon finds one onto Toyo, but they're in zone. They should be able to get the res pretty easily. Emmy moving back up over to that hillside. No way. As much as they send Vinny back up to this hillside, he's alone. Blue zone goes out, and he's going to try and make his way back over, but as Dwamsen goes down, the El Camo also finds Zvinny. Nanu did get the kill steal away, and that's 5 kills for him in this match. But this is just looking to be Toyo's match at this point. Dwamsen goes down. That's another 10-kill game so far for Toyo. And that's just ridiculous. The amount of 10-kill games that Toyo has had is pretty darn crazy. Falcon goes down to the blue zone. Not able to get flushed out in time. Caspitan over here. The nade comes a little bit short. But it looks like BDBL also throwing a nade over there. So Toyo versus No Way on 2 separate rocks. Caspitan has kind of just moved forward. One in the shack, one on the rock a little bit farther. Shots are going to go out any second now. The Molotov going to be used as Biel goes for the drive-by. He finds it on the other Biel, and Toyo with the Molotov finish it off. 13-kill chicken dinner for Toyo. Their first match win of the day. They had 3 yesterday, so hey. Only 1 so far today. They have 2 more games to get a couple more. 9 kills for Furia, 9 for AKA. So a couple other teams doing pretty good there. We're going to go to a quick break as we get ready for the final 2 matches of the day back on Erangel in just a sec. Well, they got the wrong map pulled up. We're on Erangel. There we go. Yeah, see Erangel. I don't know why they were showing us the previous map again. But this match could be a turning point for some teams. Are they going to be able to claw their way out of the relegation zone? Are we going to see different teams in the top three? Is Furia going to be able to catch up to Toyo after they were able to slowly step further and further away from them and then get that win there to boost themselves just a little bit further? Are we going to see the return of Aura finding their path on Erangel again, go back up into a fight with the rest of the top five, or are they going to slowly fall behind? Is 55 going to have another dominant match where they pull even closer to the top two? Is Seven Tellas going to continue their good form in the first three matches? So many different possibilities of what could unfold, and a zone that a lot of these players are going to be relatively used to as Soitera punches out Infinite Void. That one's interesting. Never mind, and not today. Fighting each other down in Novo. That was not a hot drop that I saw coming, and I certainly wasn't expecting to see someone punch someone else out. I assume he probably ran out of bullets, had him knocked in the same building on the hot drop, and just gave him a good old 1-2 to the face. Looking at our leaderboard going into these final two matches, old players, not today. They have nothing to play for. Go for it. Do whatever you want. Do the crazy things that you may think of. There's nothing to lose at this point. Unless you have two 20-point games back-to-back, you're getting relegated. 1-0, 4-0. They gotta play smart. No Way has climbed their way up to 40 points, which puts them out of relegation. 4-0 has dropped into the relegation spot, with Mulahs only a point ahead of them. And no one has really made it up past that 50-point mark besides Rezav and our top 5 teams. So all of these teams could still very much fall down below. Catastico getting a headshot onto Spock is going to help, and if Nevermind can win the rest of this hut drop, then all of a sudden I think Nevermind is gonna then pass that 50-point mark and be safe going into the final match. AKA are also right on the edge. And 7 Tellas with 4 Monkeys men. With a good... Any one of those teams, if they have a good match here, are gonna be able to pretty easily slip through into week number 2, staying in Division 1. And it helps to find a knock onto a Tulins. The flush comes out, and they, not today, was actually able to get the res as well. So, not today. Starting off this match exactly how they need to. They just have to deal with this other player that's still up on Nevermind right now. And if they can do that, they're doing what they need to. All 4 players at the same time. You gotta pull out the shotgun, Scatastico. They are already in your building. He goes for the shots, gets one outside, but CNNR is right there and ready. Takes him down, Nevermind out in 16th, and that is not how you wanted your game to start. 4 Monkeys men, however, heard this fighting, and that's exactly what they want to see, because this could secure them safety. They know that this team is not going to be very looted up, not that they are themselves, and the shots go out onto helps, and they're not able to find the knock that they wanted to start it off, but the blue zone launcher is going to go out. Will it be enough to get a knock? Did it even go far enough to actually hit helps? Doesn't look like it. I don't actually know where it went. Kind of just, like, disappeared into the void, huh? Shots going out from Soyterra onto Guckstarl. 10 bullets left in the Tommy gun for Soyterra. He has a double barrel. He has 276 damage. A couple of kills early in this one. He found some more ammo for his Tommy gun. Oh, Seventella is getting a flush onto Benya there. And Furia is eliminated by Seventellas? What is that we just saw in the kill feed? Seventella's absolutely phenomenal work for them to get those points. And pretty much reach safety with that. As Biel Calmo takes Cirlo out of the UAS. Should be able to get the flush as well. There we go. And I feel like we're just a little bit late to all the fights right now. Maya, the last one left for Seventellas. The rest of the team dead. Where is Maya gonna go? Probably trying to send it somewhere to res the team. Question is, where is that? Oh, Toyo. They seem adamant about possibly even chasing that. Toyo can do whatever they want with this match. They're already 15 points ahead of Furia, and Furia just got eliminated by Seventellas. Aura is getting taken down by Mira right now, and this is getting very crazy very early on, as 3 of the members of Aura are already dead, and that's 42 damage over on to Andrew, but he is going to make it out of there. Sapalo knocked Sun with a blue zone bomb? What? Oh, Nanu almost ended up getting run over there, and as DNL goes for the drive-by, Nanu just swipes him out of the vehicle. Everyone is falling like dominoes. We are 8 minutes into this match, and there is only 44 alive. We have been playing relatively clean PUBG so far, but match 11, it has all gone to shit. Everyone is just sending at each other. People are hitting their shots. Death is coming for all. As Emmy trying to get the shots onto Tavon. Through the tree, it makes it a little bit more difficult to actually spot him. Karak taking a lot of damage. Solds actually might be able to sneak up from below. Sneak right up to the corner, and as they're healing, they could go for the shots. BL, who's thinking about moving further forward. More damage onto 55, and Solds will be able to make them pay. I feel like Karak is ready for it, though. I feel like Karak is very much ready for someone to come down from below. And wow. Wow, wow, wow. That southern hard shift. Detrimental for so many teams. 55, they only had 2 people on shelter. They are out of there now. Toyo going to be controlling the shelter area, as Mira going to be sending it very early on. I mean, they should. They're going to have a little bit more area to work with compared to some of the other teams. Is this really the compound you want to commit to this early on when you have so much space, though? I was going to say, I don't think so. I feel like you want to go for some better ones. 2-2 split with this and farm, it's not awful. Having people in farm, especially with some of the endings that we've seen quite often around here, I think is a good idea, but then you also have those 2 that are a little bit farther away. Rezav positioning themselves just north of Sharkfin. Fauna just shooting to make sure that people know that they are already here. This compound is taken. You are not allowed to have it. It looks like Rezav is actually going to swap to a 2-2 split in these compounds. Always good. The more space you can take, personally, for me, I feel like it's the more space you can take until phase 4. Once phase 4 pops, and depending on how many people are alive, like if people keep on dropping like they were, can we go down to just like 30 or something? By the time phase 4 pops, you'll have a little bit more space to work with. But if people don't drop like flies, then obviously it'll get a little bit more difficult. The fact that Kaspitan also just got, like, even more stuff from that, though. Toyo, I think, are gonna get pretty dominant here soon. They are at 101 kills, which means that even if, they didn't have any placement points, they would be in 3rd place. That's insane. Furio would be in 4th place with the amount of kills they have. Ooh, Gabru, as soon as he went forward, started getting shot at, but Nanu can't find the shots. AKA did find a knock on to Karak, though. It's a different member for AKA that's going around, trying to wrap on the backside. Danchin over there went back into Milta. He might have a shot onto these players here. But I feel like he wants to wait until it's like a confirmed kill and or knock. Don't let your position get exposed right now, as this zone just got even worse. 4-0, they sent it on to Sharkfin, and I think that was the smartest choice they could have made. This is ugly. It's gonna be real ugly when this zone pops. 55 on gas station might not even be out, but I think this is gonna hard shift straight north on the next zone. Mira with a 2-2 split and such little playroom may want to go back into a single set of 4-man, but they've already shot 2 players out of the air. Fauna finds the 3rd. Now there's only 1 player left for the 4 Monkeys men. That's not good for them. They're sitting at 44 points right now. That's not safe in any way, especially with 4-0. And the positioning they have, 1-0, is just outside of the zone. And they'll have to make something happen. 7 Tellas are on their rotate. They only have 2 players left standing. They did already get a few points in this one when they killed off Furia. So that should put them almost safely above the 50-point mark, or at the 50-point mark. find it hard to believe that all the teams below that 50-point mark are going to make it there. So the question is, what 2 or 3 teams aren't going to make it and going to end up being in the relegation zone? Shots over towards Emmy by Sonics. He sees Solds now, tries to go for the shots, and Toyo just kind of pulling up on this. I feel like Toyo's just not giving respect to anyone. Mullahs go down in 14th. And, yeah. Toyo is just treating this like their playground right now. Mullah is a team that definitely didn't want to go down right there. 35 points, just 1 point above 4-0. In the race to stay out of the relegation. And, looking tough for them there. 4-0 in a fantastic spot in zone currently. Rezav gets a knock on to 55 in the kill feed. Spawneth finally does finish off Lepeaks, gets the bleed. And now Mira gonna have No Way crashing onto them. And No Way, do you want to fight Mira right here? Is this something that you're fully committed to? It is only a 2-man, but it's up to Zvinny and a Birkin, and Zvinny goes down, a Birkin to follow. Mira, 11 kills. 1-0, they're pulling up on 55's previous position, but it's not in the zone. They still have to keep on going, and AKA are shooting at them every step of the way. There is that compound that Leo is going to right now. A couple of buildings. Now the rest of the team just has to make it over there. Looks like AK-47 potentially going to anchor, go in a little bit later, if at all, as 4-0 are just doing everything they can to shoot at 1-0 and 1-0. They're stuck now. Luckily, Leo has already made it into the zone, but there's going to be other teams that are going to be eyeing that edge of the compound. As Glock and other players all connect to take down Nadamal. Not today. Made it across over here. Do you want to CNNR? Does he know about you? If he didn't know about you, was that the smart play? But it looks like he did. Good shot onto him. But now you're in the blue zone, and I think you're going to be struggling quite a bit. AK-47 just going to try and make his drive. I don't think you can go for your teammates here either. I think you just have to send it. But they know about not today, so they're actually going to be playing for the kills here. I don't hate this play from 1-0 with the spot they were in, but Helps gets the knock onto AK-47 to start it off. Fields gets the trade onto Spock. Now you have 2 players left up. CNNR, I don't think is going to be in any position to try and help this fight. Nadamal going to be trying to get the res. Fields goes down to Glock. Helps getting shot at from all the other teams that are just looking in on this. And as soon as 1-0 is done with Helps, I don't even know what they can do. CNNR does get into a position to get a knock onto Nadamal. And now it's a 2v1 right here. Leo a little bit farther away, not going to be able to help too much, but he does get the knock and flush onto CNNR. And it's all onto Helps to try and get anything else. Nothing with Sharkfin going to be in a great spot. Mira took the compound earlier on. They're going to be able to get the other 2 players over there now. Leo has full sight lines onto AKA, but just hasn't wanted to take the shots. Now he does onto Dwamson, gets the knock, goes for the shots onto Falcon as well. One more bullet, and he finds a second. The 3 helmet coming in clutch there for him. Very much saved him from getting taken down. I think AKA is going to be able to get their players back up on their feet 18 seconds before the blue zone pushes in. If he had gotten it just a little bit later, honestly, I feel like it would have been a lot more damaging for AKA. They are still going to have to recover from this. But they will be back up to a 4-man before they have to dive into the zone somewhere. Problem is, on this side of the zone, you already have 55, and you have Rezav Mira just up to the north, so there's no spots for AKA to go, and it kind of looks like they were going to send it right into 55. They are going to send it into 55. Gabaru finds 2 as they crash. He goes for the shots onto Falcon. He ignores Falcon to make sure he gets his flush, and then just pushes forward, takes him down, and there's only one player left in Danchin, who's getting shot in the side. Gabaru gets him, and that's an ace right there for Gabaru. He takes down all 4. Oh, Cart getting shot in the side by 55 now. Luckily, it looks like it hit more of his elbows and knees. Didn't do too much damage to his 3 vests. That's going to continue to be in good spirits going later on into this game. 40 seconds until we see where this next one goes. So far in this match, I feel like Toyo's just been pulling up on people, not caring about what's been happening. 4 kills for them. They're still alive, and BZ launcher onto it. The nades coming out from Mira. And Haven gets the knock onto one. Tony the knock onto the other. As blue zones start to come out, going both ways. Emmy getting ready with a nade of his own. He throws that forward. As BL surely goes down to the blue zone nade there. Oh, he actually survives right now, and these are some of the first knocks that Toyo have taken in their rampage through the zones. Old players are going to be in the center of this next zone. Very good for them. They needed plenty of points, but they need like a 20-point game in order to really be in contention going into the final match. Even up on a folded shield inside the shack, you have Fauna right on the edge of this. Toyo, I don't even know what they can do. They don't have a vehicle. It's Mira that they pulled up on. I feel like they would have had better luck just going straight into old players with how they've been playing. Instead, they chose the more difficult path. Smokes are going to go out, but in third-person view, it's not really going to do too much. Stun goes forward, and now they're going to make their push. Onto the tractor goes 1, and they're going to make sure that the Molotov is put in a spot that makes it difficult. Molly goes off, and I feel like Haven would have been better off staying on top of the vaulted shield, maybe not get hit by that Molly. He sets one up right on the edge of this, and oh, he steps into the edge of the Molotov. Unfortunate for him, the nade goes through from Solds, and that's Haven down. Tony puts a blue zone nade up on the building. Try and give a little bit of cover, make sure no one can push straight through there. Holding, he hits the headshots onto Biel. And now Emmy with the jump shots going for it. He tries to continue the spray, avoids the jump shots, goes for the jump shots of his own. But down he eventually goes. Fauna does get the trade on the little peek over. Sold's trying to go for the res. Caspitan has just pushed through here. And is playing ring around the Rosie in the smoke. Trying to find Fauna. Spots him out. Takes him down. And Toyo annihilates Mira. Gabru up to 5 kills. Fachita just trying to survive the Molly. Does a lot of damage. Jump shot from Tavon. Nubsky gonna be the last one left for Rezav. The stun goes forward. Gets them both. And now he's in the vehicle. Jumps to the other side. Finds one. Tries to find more. He's just going for the first aid. And Gabru takes him down. Cancels it. And finishes him. 10 kills for 55. They're still making a race. Trying to make a bid for second place. Back-to-back 10-kill games from them, but now Caspitan spots out Tavon. Toyo, they're still 4 alive. They refuse to go down. They're finding more and more kills, and they are just running through team after team. 7 Tellas, they got 4 kills. They have a couple of placement points in this one. They are above that 50-point mark now. Two members of 55 still alive, just tucked into a corner. What can they do? With Toyo still a little bit on this ridge here. Are Toyo gonna try and go for back-to-back wins here? Are the old players in the center of the zone gonna be able to prevent that from happening? 4-0 and 55 gonna be fighting it out. 4-0 have a huge amount of space that they have to try and take. They do get the knock onto Tavon, who should be able to get rezzed before having to get moved. Where are they gonna go? 4 Monkeys men. Guxarl, the only one up over here. The nade goes out. STX gets a shot into the side as Guxarl does get the knock onto Maya. Now Dartek gonna have to move forward again. He's going for the res. I don't actually know if he has enough time for it. These smokes are going to dissipate. The blue zone's going to be right on them. They are just going to be out in the open. The shots go out onto Guxarl, and yeah, going for that res. Maya just instantly gets knocked again by the huge amount of fire from the smokes. Not there anymore. Dartek goes down to Moo, and we're down to our top 4 teams. Toyo, 4-0, old players, and 4 Monkeys men, with the nades going out from old players over towards Toyo. Biel seeing whatever he can. I feel like he just was looking higher than before. Cart gets the knock onto Biel as Caspitan is fighting the members of old players. Sun and Sapalo already down. Me trying whatever he can to hold off 4-0. Going for the res. He doesn't want to lose Biel here. Caspitan just going to focus on the members of old players, but Sweezy finds 2 with the nade. Moo finds Solds, and now Caspitan, the last one left. He finds 1, but STX takes him down. And 4-0 are able to take down the raid boss. Now it's going to be up to 4-0 to just go through old players. Cirlo goes down to Cart. 1 player left in Lincoln. What can he do up against 3 people pushing him at the same time? He finds 1, goes for more, but he's on fire. He can't aim down sights anymore. And down he goes. 4-0, 10 kills in the chicken dinner. And that's going to elevate them up and out of relegation. They knew it was coming for them, and they fought back against it. Mira also had 10 kills of their own in that one. 55 had 10. High kill games. Toyo had 10 of their own to separate themselves even further. But we're going to go to a quick break as we get ready for the final match of today. Alfredo! I just got followed by a sauce. I appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. How are you doing on this wonderful day? There we go. See, look, now they got the right map up, telling us where people are landing. Tinnick Killer, haven't you followed me already? You never followed? What? I could have sworn that you were following. We have another hot drop. Between 1-0 and Razab this time. Okay, well. Before any fighting starts off, let me do those push-ups real quick. There we go. I can't believe you were... I could have sworn that you were following already. Yeah, whatever. How you doing today? That was 9, not 10? Oh my god. Look. Okay. Listen, we gotta make sure that we don't not give you the ones that you want. I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be back casting and everything. TPP really messes with my head while I'm casting a little bit. Like, once they start fighting and everything, going back in between, like, TPP and then them aiming down sights is, like, almost making it so I can't actually concentrate on what's happening. But I don't love that. But it's been a ton of fun. Toyo, as you can see, 164 points. They have been absolutely dominant. So I'm going to be curious about next week whenever we see the Toyo name. I feel like going week to week, you never see consistency. So if I see them put up numbers like this again next week, I'm going to be excited. And then 55 PD also putting up 155 or 115 points this week so far. It's been phenomenal. Aura, I know they're only at 65 points right now, but going back to yesterday, if they can consistently play like how they did yesterday, I'm excited to see what they can do. I was disappointed in not today. Usually they're a team that I think gets consistent placement points and stuff, and I just didn't see it here. 7 Tellas, they had a really good day today so far. They're up to 52 points. They were closer to the bottom of the leaderboard, so I think that's impressive from them. Mira, they had a slow start to day 1, so they're only sitting at 97 points. You know, PUBG stuff. But now we just sit and we wait. We watch as the rest of these teams fight it out. Oh, are 55 crash baiting this on Mira right now? Block sitting with a level 3 helmet and a level 1 vest. I feel like this is a really heavy crash bait. But Mira just are not coming down here. Is there any doors open that would give it away? I don't see anything. Oh, dude, this is the scary part of a TPP, though. Do they think it's safe? Or are they gonna drive off? I think they're driving off. No, they're going to the warehouse. They're driving around it so much, trying to spot absolutely anything. This is what I thought we were gonna see more of. In TPP, though. But Mira didn't even commit to it. They must have seen something. What did they see, though? Moo, he gets a knock and a flush onto White Zin. Not looking great for 4 Monkeys men, but they did make their way up to 50 points with the 1 kill they got. So I don't think they have anything to worry about. I think what you're looking at for relegation right now is going to be between No Way, Moolahs, and 1-0. And No Way has worked so hard to get out of the relegation spot. So we'll see what they can do. 4-0. They were in relegation last match. But you can see how 20 points can make a huge difference all of a sudden, as now one Sweezy is just annihilating Nevermind right now. Godzin could still get shot in the side by Moo, and indeed he does. Moo was just waiting, his teammates baiting a little bit. As everyone else left. I really do feel like you should hit that first aid. Yeah. Infinite Void now goes down to Sweezy. Nevermind are in a scary spot. If for some reason both No Way and like Moolahs or 1-0 have a good match here, Nevermind could still drop down into the relegation zone. So losing 3 players so early on, I feel like Watulans just needs to play this in the play zone for pretty much as long as he can. Cart has a teddy bear in the pocket of his shoulder. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. But Taran is in a spot where I think Cart can get shot in the side in a second. Oh, but Cart sees Lepeaks. Oh, Lepeaks does take him down, so Cart gets knocked. 4-0. They have 3 kills so far. And I feel like they're in a position they can just kind of do whatever the heck they want. You know? Like, there's nothing to lose or gain or anything from this. They're at 54 points. They're most likely safe anyways. Sweezy takes down Taran. And it's just a crazy game from Sweezy right now. He's already got 3. That'd be the 4th. If he can get Lepeaks, that'll be 5. If not, Moo will end up with 3 of his own. Is that a blue zone? Yes, it is a blue zone. Oh. Cart getting out of there just in time. Sweezy holding it down. As Moo gets the molly. That looks like such a good Molotov, but it just wasn't. And they trade headshots. That nade from Sweezy, and that's 5 kills for Sweezy. Crazy stuff from him there, and getting run into is Falcon. He gets the knock, he gets the flush before going down to Pablo. Pablo should be able to get the flush onto that as well. Doesn't look like AKA has anyone real close by to be able to get that res, and it's also right out in the open. Not really a res that I'd want to go for. Nanu is right there, though. They could set up a vehicle for it, and they could go for it. But they're going to lose a lot of vehicles in the process. Oh, Draft King for Furia right on the other side of Toyo. Oh, and Solds didn't spot him. Draft King gets the knock, gets the flush, tries to reposition, but Biel there to punish him. But if you have to take down only one player from Toyo right now, Solds is the one you want to take down. He has been the MVP since game number 3 on the leaderboard, and it has stayed that way. He has been dominant. I think he had almost 40-something kills by himself. Scary player to go up against. So just take him out early in this one. Ended up just fine. Toyo, if they're able to get the chip and get him rezzed, obviously, they'll do their best. I bet that's probably why Caspitan is in a vehicle right now, is on his way to do that. Maya gets another kill onto AKA as Pablo finishes off Nanu. And that's gonna put Seventella's 3 kills higher. And that is very good for them. So, Aura, after a very good day 1, has kind of dropped the ball in day number 2. Right, they're still in 5th place right now, but they could fall a little bit further because the mid-pack has started to catch up to them. Only 13 points separating them in 8th place. Then you have what I'd say is the no man's land of 3 players. Or 3 teams. There's 2 at 49 points and 1 at 47. They're kind of in a no man's land. Martin is over here. Is he trying to get his teammate's chip and get out of here? I do so believe that is what is happening in Benya. Just going to be throwing some smokes to try and help him out. I mean, trying to get some shots over here onto Martin as well, and I'm pretty sure they got the chip, but now they're out of there. Caspitan definitely got the res onto Sold, so he's going to be coming back. Oh, Dartek, you are so worried about what's around you that you don't even realize there's 2 people just staring at you up in the hillside. This is Aura's last game to prove that yesterday wasn't just a fluke. Apollo swaps vehicles and just gets out of there. I think he was going to try and swap the trunks as well. Out in the open. Kind of crazy. But he just hops in the other vehicle, tries to take off, and tires get popped pretty quickly, and now he's just stuck out in the open field. In the kill feed, we do see that Aura was able to successfully spring their trap onto Dartek. Pablo's over there as well at this point, so surprised that he didn't get caught up in it. 4-0, they're on the very edges zone. They got the res onto their teammate. STX should be able to get looted up real quick, but he's gonna have to get moving in about a minute's time. 55. I still don't think has fired a single shot. And I think has continued to try and crash bait this compound. And just no one has shown up. And if 55 actually crash baits that compound for, like, the rest of the game until it moves off of it, and they don't get anything out of it, that's gonna be kind of funny, honestly. Old players, it looks like they are kind of pulling up towards Aura right now. Andrew, be careful how far you peek over to the right-hand side. Oh, the crash bait for 55 has finally come through. They got a knock and flush on one of the members of 4-0. So I'm glad it wasn't a complete waste for them. Draft King coming back for Furia right now. I don't know where he's going to go, though. There's absolutely nothing for him. I think Furia has to try and third-party the fight between Aura and old players and try and get him some loot that way, as Gabru gets a knock onto Moo. Parak got a lot of ammo, and Sweezy picks up a knock onto Gabru. Sweezy continuing to absolutely nail his shots, but Glock shuts him down finally. That's 5 kills for 55. Team Razav pulling up on the same spot as Mira. Baleta misses all his shots, get taken down by Haven from behind. Cert Latino gets almost sprayed down by Haven very quickly afterwards. And Mira just trying to get down into the dip, like to have something to play. But Cheetah trying to hold off the push of 1-0. The Molotov goes forward, isn't going to be able to find anything. The stun going, but it pops a little bit too late. AK-47 is going to go down to that Molotov. He's still taking damage, but he is going to survive. 1-0 have scooped this up. And not today. They stick around in the blue zone waiting for their teammate to get over to him and then bounce off a tree. Questionable choices there, especially when they're going to be rotating next to Toyo, taking that much damage before driving past this beast of a team. Toyo are going to be the ones that have to make their ride in here now. And I imagine it's going to be right behind the backs of Not Today. They're going to hope that Not Today gets in a fight with someone, and they can crash right onto it. Or they can just crash onto Not Today anyways, because well, I mean, at this point, I think they've won. 55 is in second place, or third place, and I don't think that's going to change. Really, your top 3 is all going to stay the same. It's the bottom that you're looking at. Who's going to be here next week? Who isn't going to be? A headshot onto Solds, and he is just feeling it in this final match today. Sienna and Art. No. You were good in the other spot. Don't... you're getting shot in the back now. Plenty of teams can see you guys here. You're on the edge. Blue zone nade. Toyo pushed into Not Today. Pretty much like I said they could, and they were able to take them down. Old players get eliminated by Aura, and now Aura's gonna go up onto the hillside, try and fight No Way. Mullahs are still alive, though, and with Mullahs still alive, Not Today does not want to go down in this fight up against Aura. As Furia, you can send it up to the shack just above where you currently are. You're all kind of crammed into the same spot, but I think there's a little bit of safety above you. Yeah, and it looks like that's where they're going to go. 55 going to play the edge of zone on the eastern side. 1-0, they have part of Satellite, 7tel is the other part. Sir Latino just seems to be out in the open. I don't know what the other 2 players from Mullahs are going to do. Aura and No Way seem like they have to try and finish their fight before they do anything. But No Way are painfully aware of Dwamzin behind them. And a Birkin able to take down Dwamzin, and Toyo have decided that where 1-0 is what they want to take. They annihilate him. They have 2 knocked. They should be able to get him back up. But Seven Tellas were very curious about that fight. They were ready to punish it. Mira, on the other hand, very ready to punish it. They're already pulling up. Emmy hasn't been rezzed yet. Solds is going to have to try and make his way back over here. That's one player already flushed out. Another one knocked. The nade's going out. Mira just pushing forward. Emmy flushes out his own teammate. The nades go far towards Solds. Tony finds the nade onto Emmy. It's all onto Solds, the MVP so far. But that nade lands, does so much damage, he barely survives. More come through. Haven takes him down, and the onslaught of Util is able to take down Toyo in 8th place. No way, still fighting up against Aura. Headshot onto Zinni does a lot. He's gonna have to back down and heal for a second. One more of those and he'll go down. No way has to make sure to survive longer than Mullahs. I don't know if they're still alive. They were last I checked. They just have to try and outlive Mullahs. Oh, BDBL misses the shots onto Andrew, but closer to them is Danny. He tries to push through the blue zone. DNL takes him down. Andrew's still behind the vehicle. That nade looks like it's good, and it is. A Birkin with 5 kills showing up here in the final match. Again, I was talking about him yesterday. I was like, wow, it seems out of all the No Way players, he's just not really getting done what he needs to do. He shows up today, final match of the day, 5 kills. To pretty much guarantee that No Way will be staying in Division 1 going into Week 2. Phenomenal work from him. DNL takes down Benya. Furia gets eliminated. 55 still alive. I don't know how many kills they have right now. They had 5 last I checked. So if they can get the win here with a few kills, they might actually be able to take 2nd place away from Furia. Seven Tell is still trying to force their way up. But Mullahs, they're still alive. They got a kill and flush onto Pablo after he took down Gringo. Mullahs could still change the fate of one of these teams, possibly change the fate of Nevermind. Lucas, last one left, gets shot beneath the vehicle, and down goes Seven Tellas. Mullahs, No Way, Mira, and 55, the 4 teams that are left. Both Mira and 55 going to be hungry for this. Mira hunting down 55. 55 hunting down Furia on the leaderboards. My god. Gabru sitting in such a sneaky spot. He finds what he does get traded immediately by Tony. With Mira already set up on the satellite, I don't think 55 is going to be able to do anything. That looked like a frost bomb for Tavon. Flush really wanted by Mira here. They do end up getting it, as No Way takes down Sir Latinho. Now the shot's coming out. Gringo Sonic stuck in that shack. Does No Way have any Molotov? It looks like it landed just short. DNL, do you have the lineup for that nade? No. If you could have snuck that nade into these windows, that would have been high-level util right there. Gringo trying to take shots over towards Mira. Does hit a headshot after missing a few. Has a 3 helmet, but it won't be lasting for long. No Way up on the hillside above Mulaz. Mira also inside the zone. No Way, 8 kills. Orkin did such good work for No Way in this match. Got them up above Nevermind. So now if Mulaz gets a few more points, ekes out the team above them, it's going to be Nevermind that gets stuck. Onyx goes for the spray onto DNL, isn't able to connect. And now it's 55. They've snuck up behind. Pringo going for the shots. Onto Mira still. Zvinny goes down to the blue zone. 55 causing mayhem in the back lines of No Way. The nade right next to the folded shield takes down BDBL. One player left. DNL. What can he do up against the team of 55? They have 6 kills so far. Fauna takes down Tavon as he's trying to rotate up the hillside. Blue zone launcher shot over towards Biel. DNL, the shots go through, trying to follow him through the smoke, doesn't get the kill. Mira should be able to finish this one out. Sonics does get the kill onto DNL. Barak takes a headshot almost immediately. Mira have already backfilled this position. Tony takes down one, and he takes down the second onto Glock. And now it's just 2 players left for Mulaz. Haven has so many Molotovs. He has a blue zone. Gonna throw it over immediately. Fauna finds one, the Molotov, but it's the gun that finds the other. 14 kills in the chicken dinner for Mira. 24 points. But 55, they had a good match of their own. Did Mira do enough to steal the 3rd place spot away? They were a little bit far away. I don't know if it's going to be enough. We'll see shortly with an updated leaderboard. Did Mulaz, with 2 kills and a 2nd place, do enough to get above Nevermind? To flop off of my camera here, so then when we see the leaderboard, we'll be able to see it in all its glory. Here we go. Mira 5 points short of 3rd place, 55. They just had a good match in that last one. If they didn't, Mira would have been able to catch up to them. Furia stays in 2nd place with 139. Toyo dominated with 173. In your relegation, Mulaz did not do enough. They only got up to 43 points. Nevermind was at 47. No Way got themselves up to 9th place. 7 Tellas in 8th place, eked out by Team Rezav based off of placement points. Both had 58 points. 4-0 had 61. Aura had 68, so they were able to hold on to their 5th place spot. Not Today stayed in last place. They did end up getting at least a point per game. Old Players had 25, 1-0 with 36. Mulaz with 43. Those are the 4 teams that you will be seeing down in Division 2 in the following week. Question is, who's going to be coming up to Division 1? Going to be Duel with 165 points. The Beastest with 135. Cyril Harrows with 120. Foradores tied with Team Quesito with 95 points apiece, but Foradores got 4 more placement points than them. Dropping down, you have Tropa Doping Alto because they didn't show up. SX9 Legacy Attackers and Parareka Venenoso, who tied Team Zero with 27 points apiece. But again, Team Zero eking out with placement points. They had 11, where Parareka Venenosa had 7. Placement points, a very big contributor to this, because of how many ties there were in some pretty decent spots. Now looking down at the third division, the last division that we had for Series 8, week number 1. What are we going to see? I know we had a few teams that didn't show up. It looks like Rene Lavon showed up for 5 games. Anjos de Guarda showed up for 4. Invictus only showed up for 6. And they still were able to avoid relegation against Breves, who showed up for 12. But you have Affinity, Team X, Dream 1, and Easy Peasy Esports that are going to be going up into Division 2. Just barely beating out 7 Feet, who had 99 points. But that is where we are going to end today. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you, Alfredo and Tinnick Killer, for even more followers. We're closing in on 1,000, and, well, apparently I have to dance on stream at 1,000. That is what I promised. That's going to be bad. But, I mean, Solds, look at that. 39 kills, 6,263 damage. He was absolutely insane. 19 assists. Caspitan had 34 kills of his own, 5,969 damage, and 17 assists. Zakraken, he had 30 kills. Biel had 29, so didn't Fauna. So some very heavy hitters. Solds just 1 kill short of 40 kills. Very, very impressive from him. That is where we are going to end it. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. I will see you next week for